Hello, context traders. Today is May 6th, 2025, and I wanted to go over internal and external liquidity with you, as well as looking at today's trades and how I went about tackling the market. Now, the first thing I was looking at is how we on the daily chart had just come off of this strong up move, crashed into an overhead 200, and started to pull back. Now, we know that our 200 MA is going to be our strongest of all the moving averages, statistically speaking. And when it's in its flattest state, it's its strongest. So we saw the strong up move and we had a pullback. Could this be a reversal? Sure. Oftentimes, though, we'll see price come up and then retest at 200, just like we saw here. Okay, so it came up, crashed, fell, came right back up. Statistically, it likes to revisit, close that circuit. So it came down, back up. So I'm not necessarily biased one way or the other today. It's just absolutely could fall down, fill this gap right here. So I have this gap marked out between this low of day and this high of day. All right. So remember this bar right here hasn't happened yet. That bar is not there. So I have marked out previous day low, previous day high, and then I look down below and I said, okay, we've got a gap between here and here. And I'm thinking the market likes to seek external liquidity, particularly early in the day, to really fuel those moves. So that's why we often see those quick moves like that snap up, snap down, reversals. There's a lot of order shuffling and liquidity seeking in those early moments of the day. And external liquidity, for those of you who don't know, is when we have large orders usually sitting behind these big moves. So it could be a big news catalyst point, or it could be a high or low of a previous day, a gap area. That's where we're going to see bigger orders often sitting. And then intraday, we have internal liquidity sitting below different price structures. So I have these marked out to start my day. I don't necessarily mark these up every single day, but today in particular, I was just looking like, so I didn't really have a bias going into the day. So we'll drop it down. Where did we open? Okay, we opened right here. And I uh, generally, I do lean towards when we have gap days, looking for a return to fill some of the gap. Not necessarily absorb the whole gap, but the market trying to move back towards where it came from, trying to have some profit taking. If I took a short, if I took this short end of day, previous day, and I opened up down here, am I happy or am I sad? Right? I'm super happy. Maybe I want to take a little profit off. And all my friends start taking their profits off. And all of a sudden, oh, selling. Right. Right. They're buying back technically. Right. So we're buying back. And what's that doing? Pushing price up. So I'm generally thinking big gap probably initially is going to move up. Because that's oftentimes what we see the gap, snap, and crap, right? That's where we often see that come from. So my initial bias is okay, if I can see a good bar, I'm jumping in. I'm going to try to take this back, quick move, get my buck and a half, and get out of the way. We open here. I had one of my lines up here. I'm thinking, okay, there's probably liquidity around that area. We're a little bit far away from this one still, and we open. First bar was kind of a nothing burger, pushed up, pushed down, held right there. Second bar opens, drops, starts to push back up. I went ahead and jumped in and caught this up for a 1, 2, 3. I did not overstay my welcome. I saw this as a nice quick move. It could have, because it cleared this previous day area of interest, we could have seen this come up, retest here, and continue. But I also know that we were coming from a strong move down, and this looked like it was running out of steam. So I just let this go. Honestly, probably could have taken this put. We had the 10 coming down, the 21 coming down, close enough here. These are coming down very aggressive. So this would have been a very nice put entry for any of you who didn't want catch this first move and you're just waiting for your first opportunity. This right here, multiple minutes, no follow through, drops down, seeking to get close to this area. Right. So you take that put here, targeting this zone, seeing if you can get to it, maybe a little lower. That would have been a nice trade right there. Full disclosure, I didn't take it. I took this initial pop up and closed out and waited. I watched price drop back down, and I saw us falling down into here. And I'm thinking, okay, we just swept the lows. We're getting closer here. Do I want to sell into a potential bounce point? Or are we getting closer to a bounce area and I'd rather be looking possibly for a call? I'm not saying this wasn't going to continue lower. I'm just saying the closer we get down to this next zone, I'm thinking about buying calls more than I'm thinking of trying to take puts through it. Whenever I see these gap areas or these strong points, I'm thinking I want to be looking to go the other direction unless we have a clean break and retest. Okay. So I was thinking already about sweeping lows here and then probably catching a pullback. Didn't know this was going to happen, right? I thought maybe we have a good chance to get back though into this zone right here. Okay. So price drops, we start to snap back up. I took this here, my favorite looking entry, this beautiful thing that is the rocket bar with the next bar canceling, coloring going up. So I jumped in on this bar, it accelerated. We got a little past the previous low a day and then boom, dropped right back down. And that took me out. Just set me up a better launch point for the next bar. All right. So um, right here, we dropped lower again, snapped back up, started going, got back in at about the same price point right here. And this time we come up, pull back, come up. I took off profit right in that zone right there. So we're crashing back in, coming in hard into the 21. That's the opening 2-minute range. We pop back into it. I took 50% off here. I locked in break even here and I'm free riding to see if we're going to clear this and go. If this comes up and fails here, I can kill the trade. If it comes up and fails here, I can kill the trade. I'm happy, right? I'm no problem, right? Either way, I'm still thinking that we're going to probably get to this zone, but because of how aggressive these were sloped down, I was a little quick to take some of my profit there. But that's just my style. Some of you maybe full in, full out. I like to scale out along the way. It gives me more confidence to hold the remainder of my positions and to hold through maybe a retrace if I'm having confidence it's going to go higher. All right, so we pull back, we catch this 10, we make new highs. As soon as we stall after this nice leg, I'm thinking this is pretty good displacement here now from the 21. It might come back harder, so I went ahead and took my profit there. Price chopped around for a little bit, chop, 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 chop. It actually kept going up, which is fine. So I left a little bit of profit on the table here. But when we pulled back into that 21 on the 2-minute chart, and I'm looking at now this zone, seeing a whole lot of retesting right in here. We're holding above that with a rising 21. I got back in and decided to try to take this back up to high a day. Didn't quite get there. We had a failure right here in these upper wicks and it started to pull back and I killed that trade right there. So it comes up, I'm in right in this area, this 482 area, and I'm out right here, only about 50, 60 cent gain. So that was unfortunately not really work out. But overall, we're doing okay. Nice first trade, small loser here, great second trade. Just made a little bit here, no big deal. Moving on. We did bounce off of this zone again. Came back up. I went and made some coffee. Missed this one. Um, Came up. We dropped. And this is where I kind of made my mistake today. All right. Not perfect. Don't always do things right. But what I saw here was remember, I was talking in a previous video about change of character. And so anytime we have a low, make a new high. We pull back, we make a new high. We fall down, we take out that low. That doesn't mean it's time to go short. It doesn't mean it's a total shift in the market, but it is a change in character. It means that we could be starting to come the other direction. So this came down. I'm expecting a pullback. I decided to get in short right here on this bar. This is 482.40. And I'm thinking this is going to try to come down and now challenge that area. My thesis was if we could crack this area, we'd probably pull back again. This would be a tenting 21, and then we could get that nice move to the downside, maybe coming into this area next. Cool. So I got in here thinking, okay, first leg out, pull back, drop. So we got the drop down. We started kind of flagging back up. We got this nice drop here. I was moving my stop right into here. And about the time that happened, boom, that thing took off. So I knew there was a good chance that this would be the support zone that would pop from. I did not prepare myself for how aggressive it was going to go. So this one took my stop out and left me with the grand total profit of about 20 cents. So that was a big old nothing burger of a trade for me and a beautiful trade for anyone who did trust this support area and take it. So no big deal, opportunity cost there, but congratulations. I think my man Mully, Mr. Bounceback, took this one in the community and posted that. It was just a beautiful trade. I just didn't give it enough respect. So no biggie. Moving on. Decided to take a walk for a little bit off of that one, and came back a little bit later in the day, and I started looking at that previous zone here that I was talking about. So one thing that I like to look for would be anytime we have an extended run. I like to go back to the previous candle that closed in the opposite direction of the run. So I'm looking here. I saw this 2-minute candle. And call this 2-minute. See this 2-minute down close candle in the run right there. And then we have this one right here also was an order block area that had turned into support. So sorry for all the boxes here, but let me talk through what I'm looking at. So we had this move to the downside here. This was resistance. So we cracked through it. Old resistance often becomes future support, right? And then this candle, what this told me was at some point in this bull run up, there was enough selling pressure to try and push this back down, but the bulls took over. So because we sprung off of that area, now this zone down here is going to be stronger. That doesn't mean there aren't some orders sitting in here. Okay. There could be orders sitting right in that zone. So I'm seeing this, the market coming down, and I see this old resistance turn support. I see this order block here. I see it tried to bounce right between those two areas. And so I went ahead and got long right here, maybe a little premature. It did pop off, but pulled right back into the area. But I got long right here on this candle. It's right in that 480, 85, 90 cent area. It's coming up, pulled back. I added on right here on this candle. So we had the rocket bar pushing back up, closed above the 21. I added on there, and then we finally got that takeoff. I was thinking maybe there's a chance that we come up into here, um, or at least into that area, right? So that was kind of an upper target potential, and then of course our last significant area before that blow off was right in here. And what does that coincide with? Overhead 200. So we come up, we have this widening. It's not super wide, but it's wide-ish and flattening and curling up. We have the overhead 200. If I have a rising 21 and a declining 200, I'm expecting price to find its way in there. So price comes up, pops off. I close this as it was pushing into the 200. This is one of those situations where you can often get out. You could hold this one and see, you could have an A/B retest and then go through. Just for time of day, and I had some other things I needed to do today. I did not want to hold this any longer, so I closed that trade out as it was surging up towards this 200. Now, what happens sometimes, right? We have that narrowing state. It's going to try to pop out the other side, and look at where we ended up. It's funny how this works. I had that last up close candle before a surge to the downside, and look where price returned to before rejecting swiftly. So this is how I draw out my targets. This is what I'm looking for. Oftentimes, how I'm trying to go about tackling the market. One other thing I wanted to show, there was a confluence when I was talking about those zones, those order blocks. It also happened to have a confluence right here with one of those prior external liquidity lines that I was looking at. So multiple confluences helping me here in today. Overall, really nice trading day. Took basically a couple of break even ish trades, one small loser, and a couple really nice gainers. So overall, really nice trading day. And I hope that helps some of you in thinking about where liquidity sits. Remember, when we're in these ranges, um, you don't want to be that breakout mindset where you're trading close to the top or bottom of the range. You don't want to, like, oftentimes we see that's where that last kind of exhaustive impulse is, and then it reverses from that spot, right? So be a little more patient and wait for it to break out and pull back and retest those zones. And instead, prepare your mind to think, where is the best discount for a buy, or where is the most greed and premium for a sell? I think that'll help you stay on the right side of the market on some of these liquidity zones if you have that type of mindset. All right, everyone, that's all I have for you today. As always, I hope you got some value out of this. Um, I'm not here to tell you how to trade. I'm just trying to help educate you on how I trade and the way I see things. If you saw any value from this, please hit that like button, subscribe so you can catch all future videos. Until next time, happy trading.